You guys want to watch one more funny-ass comedian? This next guy, I gotta say this. He is a regular here at Comedy Works. He is a pro. He's a paid pro, which is pretty hard to do. He also has a great podcast called Chicken and the Nuggets. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the fucking hilarious Noah Reynolds.
Thank you so much, Steve. What a night, huh? Give it up for yourselves. You guys have done a great job. Like Steve, I also once participated in this very contest. I made it to the finals. And I even got second place once. So that's the way I'm doing. A lot can happen after this contest. The person that got first place is touring the nation and world as a comedian, and I've been stealing toilet paper from my job. So not everything is totally going to change for all these folks, but we're so happy for you people to be there sitting in judgment. That's ultimately what comedy is about, sitting there and deciding who's best and who's not as good. Wonderful. Now they said headliner, not so much. I am the last comedian. I'd like to make that distinction. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm the headliner. It gives the wrong impression. I'm actually just the final comedian on the show. I get a little bit more time, and I'm going to be able to talk a little bit more. And God forbid, if my mic gets cut, some heads are going to roll. I swear to shit and God. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Striped shirt. Anyone ever call you that? So that's the type of crowd work too. He was asking about French fries. Fucking dumb. My little book of tricks. Look at you. You're handsome. Are you bothering her? Wonderful. You guys are great. We'll see. You know what I mean? 20 minutes. We'll see. Not that I can't do it. I'm saying for your sake. But you're gonna sit there and take it. And you guys can check out my new special, Sit There and Take It. It'll be available on all your phones as you leave, if you want it or not. So that'll be cool. Man, things are a bummer these days, huh? Things are a bummer. You open up the newspaper, it's like breaking news. You're short and have red hair, and your parents hate you. And get on both. That's why I only like to read articles about dogs. Right? And dogs doing dog-related things. Like I read an article about a dog that's helping teach kids learn to read at the Westminster Public Library. And I'm like, no wonder kids are so stupid these days, right? No. But then I realized I used to be a kid, and I can't read or write or talk good. So maybe if a dog was my teacher, I'd be a better member of society, right? In fact, instead of giving teachers guns, why don't we replace all teachers with dogs? And then give those dogs guns. If my math teacher was a golden retriever with a weapon, I would not miss a day of class. I would know what algebra is, you know? We are divided. I read this other dog article, the dog news. It's always breaking or barking. Barking dog news. I read this other article and made me realize why we're so divided in this country. Is that apparently there's a dog that's the bat boy for the minor league baseball team in Las Vegas. Now, I don't know if you guys know shit about anything, but dogs don't get to be bat boys. Boys get to be bat boys. So what's happening in this fucking country is it's not the immigrants or computers taking your jobs, it's your goddamn house pets that you buy food for. I don't give a fuck. I will sniff for drugs at the airport, okay? I will hold a blind man's hand around all day. Stealing jobs from God-fearing Americans. It really disgusts me. You don't think I'd be good for anxiety? I didn't mean to pick on you twice, sorry. Obviously not. You don't think I'd make your plane ride more comfortable? All right. You know what I mean? Dogs are also running for public office. They're running and being elected to public office. Duke is a Bernese mountain dog. By the way, I love dogs, okay? I'm just not gonna vote for my dog for fucking anything. That dude has his balls in his mouth, like, whatever is more than 24/7. You know what I mean? He transcends time. Duke is a Bernese mountain dog, beautiful dog, wonderful dog. And he was elected mayor of Georgetown, Colorado, up here in the Rockies. Yeah, he's pro-cop, pro-gun, and anti-mailman. And that's a dog joke, and everybody loves that. No feelings are hurt. Wonderful. I'm going to take a little temperature of that every so often, see if anybody's feelings are hurt. That's my least favorite thing in comedy, is hurting people's feelings. So, thank you so much. Oh, wow. Look at you. Wonderful. Thank you guys again so much for coming out. I gotta say, some people mentioned it a few times. I'm gonna touch on it. I'm psyched about this Cybertruck. I am. I'm excited to be able to know who the worst people are in the world at any given point. To be able to point them out on the street. There he goes again, the worst asshole. You look less ridiculous riding a unicycle from place to place. I really think. Who would have thought 10 years ago that Hummer drivers would be the forward-thinking, progressive people in this country? You know what I mean? I would take a bullet for a Hummer driver if it was shot out of a Cybertruck. The new Hummers are cool. And they're EV, so that's an aside, I suppose. I would make an argument, and it's an unpopular opinion, I would make an argument that Tesla is actually the most controversial car company since Volkswagen in 1941. Whoops! Okay, we're gonna pretend. Good. We're gonna pretend now. Great. Read a book, you know. By the way, how rude. What kind of person says that to paying audience members? I can self-regulate, so that's good. I'm trying to... Not everything I do is a fucking joke, all right, guys? Wonderful. I'm trying to grow up. I'm trying to do grown-up things, you know. I'm reading the paper and I have health insurance for the first time in my life. Which is, thank you so much. You said that. Let's go to the doctor together. I'm excited. Let's go to the doctor together. I'm excited to get sick and go to the doctor again, you guys. I really am. Going to the doctor as a child is kind of an ordeal. It's not so much fun. It's spooky. It's scary. You go to the doctor as a child, they're like, yeah, Noah, you know, you're going to be a big old football player. And freckles, those are kisses from angels. You know, shit that doctors are telling you. No, I love going to the doctor as an adult because if you couldn't tell, I got a problem or two that may or may not need some professional assistance. So yeah, I'll go to the doctor as an adult and I'll be like, hey doctor, yeah, I'm sweating when I'm sleeping, my migraines are back, and one of my balls is tiny and the other one's huge, and sometimes they switch. I also very much like the idea of going to somebody who thinks they're so goddamn smart, you know, graduated school twice, and making them put their hand up my ass because I told them that they had to. Because insurance covers it. Whatever the hell that means. Whatever the hell that means. I totally, by the way, misunderstood the concept of a copay. I was like, copay, great, yes, you and I will pay for this together, doctor. It's not a solo pay after all. Both of us. Deductible, I was like, deduct my nuts, that's too much money, you know what I mean? Okay. One thing that does not change with time, you guys, an institution that remains the same, is your experience at the dentist. You go to the dentist as a kid, as an adult, it does not matter. You walk in, they're like, hey Noah, you look like shit today, your teeth look like shit, you've always been a piece of shit, that's $30,000. I once had a dentist tell me that if I didn't floss 2 times a day, my grandma would go to hell. And I'm not flossing. No, dear goodness. And by the way, no. Are there any mental health? Whoops. Freud, hello? No. Are there any regular health professionals here? What do you do? Glasses, of course. Okay, we can't wait.
I'm a nurse.
Guys, it feels like I could just dead now. No, we need you, and thank you so much. Yeah, sure. Yeah, one person agrees with me. I was a nurse once. I was a sexy nurse once. No, I'm not stalling for my next joke. Wonderful. I'll say this, you guys, I am trying to grow up and go to the doctor, read the news, all this kind of shit. And I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, which feels pretty cool. With 4 or 5 other guys, depending on like the day of the week. It's dude's night every night that ends with Y. Mostly. And if you speak Spanish, it's a different thing. But we're talking about English days of the week. right? Anyway, so we are all living together and just having a ball. But currently we have a domestic issue. We have a mouse problem. Uh-oh, mouse in the house. Mouse in the house. I can't wait to hear what Noah has to say. This is incredible. Fodder for comedy. That's your guys' inner monologues. So we were like, we got the bros together on a bro night and had a bro. I bet you wish you could have bro nights, not as much as you used to. By the way, I'm so kidding. I crave companionship, and I envy it. All these guys talking about their wives. Stay with your wife and never come out again. That's what I was saying. Especially if you're a comedian. Sorry, okay. So we got the bros together on a bro night. Some of us are lucky. And they were like, hey guys, let's figure out this problem. Let's call somebody. And I was like, wait a second, bros. I used to kill and torture small animals and rodents when I was a kid. Why should we get somebody to do a job I could do for free? And for fun, frankly, sir. How fucked up is it that you're killing animals and rodents before you're 18, you're a sociopath, and then after you graduate high school, you have a job with benefits? I don't know how that makes any sense to me. 401k. So this guy, does anybody here, by the way, know Anchor Pest Control? Does anybody, it almost seemed like a raised hand. Does anyone here know Mike from Anchor Pest Control? Wonderful. It would have been so much easier if every single person knew this man that I'm about to talk about, but fuck it. So this guy, Mike from Anchor Pest Control, comes to my home. He's like, no, I'm Mike from Anchor Pest Control. I've been killing mice for 15 fucking years, okay? I started in 2006, 5 years after 9/11. I'm like, okay, Mike, I don't know how to do it. He goes on, he's like, Noah, nobody likes killing mice more than me, and nobody is better at killing mice than me. Mike from Anchor Pest Control. If your home is not mouse-free in 2 to 52 weeks, you can fuck my wife. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what? You know, this guy's at work, speaking to a client. He goes on, he's a yapper. He's like, Noah, I like to catch a mouse like somebody would catch a fish. You teach a man to mouse, he mouses for a day. You give a man a mouse, I'm like, okay, this guy's drunk, right? This guy's totally drunk, and he's about to hide poison in my home as part of his job description? So the thesis of this story is, of course, find a passion, okay? Find what your killing mice in this world is, and be absolutely undeniable at it. Talking hard. And by the way, end of joke. It doesn't really, I don't know. I've done that. This is an old joke, and it really does teeter out. I've done it forever, and it really does just come to an end. Thank you. Were you guys the ones having trouble getting up and down the stage? Oh, so he gave you up immediately, just to say. That's okay. Thank you for coming to the show. There is no shame in trying to get from one place to another safer. I think we can all agree. Oh, I'm an asshole because I want to scoot by. Okay, I'm not gonna. I hate crowd work, obviously. I'm not a fan of it. I had a family reunion recently, and at our family reunions, you guys, we do what most families do. We play board games, right? And I feel like you can tell a lot about a family by what type of board game they play together. For instance, if you play Candyland, you have 2 dads. And that's okay. And we're okay with that. If you play Uno, you're a Latin family. And once again, we're okay with that as well. Then you got those weird zealots who make puzzles together. Puzzle families, I mean, they have 0 conflicts and 0 guns in their house. That's for sure. Puzzle families, those children probably call their parents mother and father. You know what I mean? Mother, father, can we make another puzzle tonight? I finished kissing my brother on the lips. Okay. I guess that one just ends too. You know what? And it shouldn't that way, because it does have a punchline. I don't remember it right now. And this is the 4th wall that's being broken, you know? I am playing a character. I am actually tall and black off stage. And you can tell me, I smell good and I say cool things. I'm very self-composed and very confident. Off stage. Let me say this. I'm going to get this out of the way, too. I'm tired of brunch. I'm sick and tired of brunch and brunch culture. Get it out of here. I feel like brunch is just a made-up meal that, white elitists made so they don't have to have a meal with other different kinds of people, right? Not everyone's on board. Okay. One thing you'll never be served at brunch is hush puppies or collard greens. I feel like if brunch could be if a meal could be a gated community, that's what brunch would be. Here's the other thing. How do you go to brunch? I've never been invited to brunch. Do you go with people? I feel like you're not allowed to go to brunch alone. Once you sit down for brunch alone, guess what? You're at breakfast, dickhead. That's what's going on. We're waiting in line 2 hours to eat potatoes. What is this, the Great Depression? Guys, let's grow up. No, let's have some cake. And also, the drink we love is a can of marinara with tequila. Yum. Oh, and it's 9 a.m. on Sunday. We're skipping church. That's what you guys are doing. Checking my texts. No texts. The ballots may or may not have been turned in. If you guys are thinking you're switching your decision, I'm not on this contest, but write-in is part of this country's values. I thought everybody did a great job, but I had way more time. Everybody got off after like 5 minutes, and I've just been rolling up here. Nobody stopped me. It's scary and cool, and we all love it. I'm gonna try this. It's I don't know how well it's going to work. Once again, breaking the fourth wall, that's what you love a comedian to say, is immediately not being confident in the material he's about to perform. I'm a sports fan. I was trying to explain to my mother, who is a 60-year-old woman, and I was trying to explain to my mother the significance of the Luka Doncic trade, okay? And the only thing you need to know is that this was the biggest trade in NBA history. So I needed to explain this in terms my 60-something-year-old mother can understand. So I told her, Mom, imagine if NCIS traded Mark Harmon to Blue Bloods for 2 guest stars. And my mother, this was my mom's response. She said, so you're telling me, oh wait, Donnie Wahlberg's involved in the deal too. She says, you're telling me, Noah, that Blue Bloods is Tom Selleck, Mark Harmon, and zero defense? And I said, yeah, Mom, that's what's going on over at Blue Bloods. Wonderful. Well, I say wonderful when I'm nervous. It's obviously not an actual reaction to the situation, as you can see. Yeah, you guys look young and hip. You guys look, raise the roof if you're young and hip. You wish. No, kidding. Yeah, you young people these days, the things that bring you joy are bad, are kind of a bummer, and I don't like them so much. Like, I went to a bar recently. I don't like to go to bars. I like to drink at home. And that's cool. Thank you. And that's cool. But I get to go to bars and eat the trash. If you look like me, you get to eat the trash at bars. And it's free trash. So I went in this bar, and happening in this bar was something you young people all love. It was a trivia night. Heck yeah, trivia night. I would love to take a test in a bar. That sounds great. That's the one thing the ACTs and SATs were missing, was a bunch of loud people and expensive drinks. Look how much fun we're having in our youth. Let's vape and TikTok and jump off a bridge. What was silly, it was a trivia night for the television show Friends, which a lot of people enjoy, So nobody told you life was going to be this way, etc., etc., etc. And what was very humorous to me is the fact that the person who came in third place was by themselves at Friends Trivia. They had 0 friends. Guys, this is a rule of thumb you could take home with you. These people weren't giving you free advice. This is free advice from me, Noah. If you're gonna go to Friends Trivia with 0 friends, you better get first fucking place, okay? Bronze is not gonna cut it. This is not the Olympics. This is trivia night. The question they got wrong, unbelievable. The question they got wrong was to name all the original Friends characters. All the original Friends characters, and we can name them. You can join me if you want. Ross, Rachel, Joey, the RZA, the Jizza, Ghostface Killer, Raekwon the Chef, Method Man. And Phoebe. Phoebe's always last. Those were the members of the Wu-Tang Clan, and I've spent many years memorizing them and reciting them by heart. So the people that didn't appreciate that, that's okay. You like different types of music. What an incredibly normal response to people not liking that. Listen, you just didn't like that. And that's okay. Ma'am, please. I do need a ride home. These are Catherine's group of people over here, and Jesus, all right. I imagine some are single, if not all. Excuse me? Who says that to a group of paying customers? Just trying to enjoy the show. Support their friend. Couldn't agree more. I'm gonna finish with this. I'm a sports fan, you guys, like I said, but I also watch the news, and they say these things these days, they're like... Look at the idiot watching sports in the news. Look at that fucking idiot. Let's laugh at him and point at him. I know my time's up. I'm a sports fan, and I like. They say these things these days. They say, why don't we take politics out of sports? And I'm like, heck yeah, gosh yeah. Let's take politics out of sports. If there's someone who's going to tell a 350 fucking pound offensive lineman what he or she can and cannot say, it's going to be me. Sign me up. But if you take politics out of sports, ladies and gentlemen, what do you have to do? You have to put sports into politics. It's like once I'll be up there in Washington, D.C., which is wherever the fuck. I can never find it on a map. And in this scenario, I'm elected to Congress, and they'll be like, yeah, the gentleman from Colorado, I'll be like, yeah, point of privilege, Mr. Speaker. You want to talk about abortion? How about the fucking Rocky season? That's been a goddamn abortion, you know what I mean? The Rockies are killing an unborn baby every single night. I would never wager to guess what going through an abortion feels like, but I bet it's 10 and 43, or whatever the fuck. People get very religious about sports, right? I'm from Denver and from Colorado, and many people in this state are Broncos fans, right? If you go into any house of worship in this state, they will tell you that God is a Broncos fan, talking hard. They'll tell you God is a Broncos fan because the sky is blue and the sunset is orange, which is a wonderful sentiment. However, we all know God, and God was the one that gave kids cancer and let the Holocaust happen. So if anything, God roots for the Chiefs. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Go Broncos. Give it up for Steve. Give it up for Steve.